welcome to the very first episode of Sentimentally Yours. My name is Natasha Clausen, and this is sort of a vlog that talks about my experiences as a gift basket lady or a basket case. This vlog hopefully will let you and I kind of enjoy the process of just the art of giving. Not just giving things, but the art of giving from your heart. That's really what Perfect Sentiments is all about. And I wanted this first episode to really discuss sort of our origin story. And I often tell people my origin story because I think it really encapsulates what Perfect Sentiments is, how we operate, and what it means to me. I'm going to tell you what the first day and the first basket was for my gift basket business. And it's the origin story of Perfect Sentiments. And all right, so I had to leave my psych degree, my BA, shortly before I would have graduated. It was bitterly disappointing for me, and I won't go into all the reasons why, too much drama there, but it was really hard for me, but I did. And for the longest time, I was very unhappy about it because I really felt a calling, and I really thought that I could help people if I got a PhD and went into research. Didn't happen, but that's okay because life is always changing. We always have to adapt. We're never promised that life will stay the same. And so the best thing that you can do is go, that didn't work out, but what can I get from it? What can I do with it? I spent 3.5, almost 4 years of my life learning and dedicating myself to something. I must be able to do something with it. I'm not gonna waste that time or money. And I'm a really creative. I build things, I make things. You tell me to make something, I can make it. So I figured, gift baskets. But I lived in a really small town. And it's a really small town, and they did not understand gift baskets. They understood flowers, but gift baskets? Like, why would I, what's it? And nothing above $50, because it was like, nobody would order a gift basket over $50 because they just didn't wrap their minds around the wonderful possibilities of what you can do with gift baskets. So that's okay, but I started in a small town and I built my website and I told my friends and family, I put my information, my business information in all of the yellow page, the online kind of yellow pages type things, so if people are searching for you, because at that period of time, believe it or not, it was 2009. Yes, we've been around that long. And they didn't have the lovely things that we have today. There was absolutely no, amazing search features. And building a website was a completely different animal, let me tell you, yeah. So thank your lucky stars that you have things like Wix nowadays where you can just push a button, it does it all for you. Because let me tell you, building a website in 2009, not the same animal, and it was very interesting. I'm glad I did it, but holy crow, not again. Thank goodness. Now we have just push button and it does. But anyway, so I put all my information on all these pages, these information pages, these online little newspapers and stuff like that, thinking, well, that'll get people to find me and I'll get customers and life will be grand. Yeah. Yeah, grand. What you have to realize is you have to make your life grand. You can't just put your name out there and think, it's gonna be grand. You gotta make your name grand. And that was what I learned very quickly early on.
couple of days after I put my little shingle out, put my little website up, and I did my little thing, I got a phone call from a woman in another province, about 2 or 3 provinces away. And I was like, well, how can I help you? And now you have to remember, this is before I developed all my shtick, all my, questions that I now know are important to ask, all the things. So I just said, how can I help you? And it was a young woman's voice on the other end of the phone. And she had this very, very sad sound. She was you could tell that she had maybe been slightly crying or whatever. And I said, can I help you? Like, what's going on? Are you okay? And she's like, well, I am really far away, and my mom is really old. I think the woman was about 80 or so. And she fell down, and she broke her hip. And there's no family in that small town I was living in. That's where she was. I have no family there, and I don't have enough money to come out and take time off from my job and come and stay with my mom. My mom is all by herself, and I'm really, really worried about my mom. And I went, oh my goodness, that sounds awful. I'm so sorry to hear that, because my grandma was dying at that point in time, and she was around, I think she was 85 if I'm right. Or I don't know if I can't remember exact age, but I know what it's like for elderly people to be ill and close to, that time of their lives, and be alone. And we had always made sure that my grandmother was never alone. So I thought to myself, nobody's mom or grandmother should be alone. That's just not right. They lived their time on this earth. They deserve to go out in the proper way. They don't deserve to be lonely and forgotten. That's just not right. This woman raised a child. She did a lot. She deserves to have something given back. So I said to the lady, I said, well, let me help you. So I talked to her a little bit, and it ended up that her mom had a lot of dietary issues and stuff. So giving her a gift basket full of food was not going to work. But I got this light on. And I had been going to a lot of funerals at that time and seeing people give big, huge flower decorations that died 3 days later and people had to maintain. And I saw their loved ones constantly having to maintain these flower arrangements. And then they're dealing with funeral arrangements and mourning and people coming to see them. And then they've got all these flowers, and some of them were very overpowering smells, so sometimes people get ill and have to leave the room, so they couldn't be there to talk to them. I mean, people don't understand that flowers are beautiful, but they don't last. And they're a lot of money, and 3 days later, they're gone. And sometimes people have allergies to the smell, especially with lilies. Easter lilies are incredibly potent. And stuff, and also then these people are faced with an absolute room full of refuse to throw away. Like, you have to grab all these flowers and stuff them in a garbage bag 3 days after. And so I said to the lady, I said, how about we make you a permanent memorial flower display so that your mom can enjoy these beautiful flowers that I make an arrangement with, because I'd been a florist when I was younger. That was one of my multiple jobs. I'd been a florist. I said, I can make you a beautiful arrangement. I can put it in a vase that kind of is like Greco-Roman urn-like looking, and in it I can put a frame and a candle, battery-operated candle, which is safe for hospitals and safe for elderly people, has no scent, all those sorts of things. And it can go on and off on a timer. So your mom doesn't even have to mess with it. And we can put the candle and the frame and the flower arrangement, and she can have it beside her bed, and she can feel that you're there with her all the time, because that flame is alive. That flame is a presence. And it's funny, people don't feel alone when there's a lit candle in the room. It's a weird phenomenon, but it's true. So I threw that idea by her, and I said, I can easily do that. I have some lovely battery-operated candles. I was a florist. I can do silk flowers so they don't die, so the nurses don't have to deal with all the garbage, and your mom doesn't have to be disappointed that they die real quick. And when your mother passes away, you can use that arrangement at her funeral, and also you can take it home with you and use it as a memorial in your home for a remembrance of your mom. And that woman just burst into tears. She said that was the best idea she could ever think of. It kind of fit all the boxes for her. And so she said, yes, please do it. I want you to do that for my mom. So she gave me well, there was only one hospital in that town, so she didn't have to give me a lot of information. And I spent a lot of time in that hospital, so it wouldn't have been hard to find this lady. So I took a day and I made this beautiful flower arrangement. It was like about this high. It had a beautiful, and I asked the lady, what is her favorite Bible verse? Because this woman was a Christian, and I knew that Christians often take great comfort from Bible verses and reading them and seeing them and having them around. So I said, what's your mom's favorite Bible verse? And she said, okay, it's this. So what I did was I printed up a really nice, I think it was Psalms, I can't remember which one it was. I put it in the frame, I put it in the arrangement, and I had the candle. I wrapped it all up beautiful, and I went, all right, to my family. I said, I'm heading off. This is my first delivery. Wish me luck. Okay. Right. And I got in the car, and I didn't have to drive far because it's a small town. It's like everything's a block away. I drove to the hospital, and I politely asked the nurses where Mrs. So-and-so was. And they said, oh yeah, she's in there. And I walked into the hospital room, and there was 2 beds in there. So it was the room was cut in half by a curtain. And the first bed was empty. And so I figured the lady was in the bed by the window. And so I had the arrangement in my arms, and I purposely held it sort of to the side, and I peeked my head around, and there was this tiny little woman just overwhelmed by this big hospital bed. And she was just lying there staring out into nothing. Kind of just no expression on her face, just kind of, you could tell that she was lonely. You could tell that she was alone. And I put on the biggest smile on my face. I peeked my head around, and I went, are you Mrs. So-and-so? And she looked at me. She goes, well, yeah, yes I am. And I went, do I have a prezi for you? And she goes, oh, that woman lit up like a candlestick, like a Christmas tree. It was so cute. Her face she just came alive. She was almost like a little child. She's like, oh, really? And I said, yes, I do. And then I brought the basket around the side of the curtain, still peeking around, and I said, this is for you. And she just was like, oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I thought she did cry, and then I cried, and then we both cried. It was just silly. And then she goes, oh, who's it from? I said, your daughter. She loves you, and she misses you, and she wants to know that you are never, ever alone. And she cried, I cried. And then I said, can I put it by your bed? She's like, yes, please. So I put it by her bed. I made sure she could see the Bible verse, and the candle was on, and I unwrapped it for her because she really didn't have any ability to do that. And then I was about to leave. And I'm like, well, Mrs. So-and-so, it was lovely to meet you, and I hope you feel better. And just as I was saying, I looked in her eyes, and I could tell that childish joy just sort of was going away. And I thought to myself, I do not have a busy day. What do I have to do? I only have 1 gift basket, no more orders like in sight. I've got a couple. I'm gonna sit here with this lady. And so I said, I don't have to go. Would you like me to sit here with you? And she was just so happy. And we sat and we talked about her daughter, and we talked about all these things. And then eventually she got tired, and I said, I should probably go. She's like, yes, it was lovely meeting you and stuff. And I said my goodbyes, and I left. And I really didn't think much of it. It wasn't that late in the evening by the time I got home. And I told my my family about it when I got home, and you know, you kind of think, well, job well done, Natasha. You made a lady happy, and you got a really beautiful gift basket ordered and delivered, and good for you. And I was just going about my business, and I got a phone call at about 8:30, maybe 9 in the evening, and it was the daughter, and she was clearly very emotional. And she goes, you know that basket you delivered to my mom? And I was like, oh, my first basket, and I messed it up. Like, oh crap, it's a complaint on my very first basket. Oh man, Tash. Like, but it ended up that she said that, I always have a hard time telling this story, so it's gonna be hard getting through this particular part of the story. Apparently after I left, an hour or so after, her mother fell asleep and passed away. But right after I left, she called her daughter. And she told her daughter how beautiful the gift basket was, and how happy it had made her, and how lovely it was to have a conversation with someone. She hadn't had a conversation with a real person other than a nurse in, I think like a week or so. And that it had made her, I think her daughter had said, one of the happiest moments of her life. And I was like, whoa, well, I didn't think I was gonna achieve that level. But I said, well, I'm so happy I could be there for your mom. And I'm so sorry to hear that she passed. She was a lovely, lovely lady. And she goes, I'm not calling to complain. I'm calling to thank you, because you did something that money can't buy. She said, you made sure my mom was not alone when she passed away. And I can tell you that whole experience is what shaped my gift basket business from that moment forward. It wasn't just about making money. It wasn't just about creating things or making beautiful baskets. It was about creating the perfect sentiment. Creating the perfect gift. And that gift doesn't have to come with a product. In fact, I think the greatest gift of gift baskets and giving isn't the gift basket at all. It's what it represents. So that's my first ever gift basket. I'll never forget it. And let's say it has been what kind of was the star in the sky that I followed ever since. And that's what Perfect Sentiments is all about. So I hope that you keep tuning in and you keep watching our vlog. It won't be as tearful, probably, hopefully more funny and fun. But this is who we are, and this is where we came from. And I hope that each and every one of you comes and joins us every time we put up a video, because this is what it's all about. It's about sharing, and not just things, but us. And that you can join us on our crazy basket journey and maybe learn a few things, and hopefully we can learn a few things from you as well, because that's what we're here for. So please, join us next time for our next episode of Sentimentally Yours. And also, like or subscribe. And we will not have the comment section open, but you are always welcome to email us at our email address, perfectsentimentsgiftbaskets@gmail.com. And if you have anything that you would like to contribute to the show, if you're a small business person and you think that you can add some tips or some advice to everybody out there, or if you just want to say hi, please send us a few words through the email. But we won't open up the comment section just because the world has become a little bit meaner. I'm just going to be completely honest. And I'm bipolar, and I'm actually very, very, very ill. I suffer from severe chronic health issues. So
having people troll the comment section or be in particularly inappropriate or cruel just isn't something I'm interested in. This whole thing is about joy, and it's about celebrating and sharing the human spirit. So if you want to share your spirit with me, you go right ahead. You're very welcome to at that email address. And please, join us as we go on our basket case journey. See you guys.
Thank you for watching. Comment Sympathy Done Right if you watch to the end. We will pick a comment and give a shout out in our next video. Thank you.